Mentally disabled journalist tries to cancel me over viral clip. I have to support this because it's against Ludwig and all actions against Ludwig are justified. This is very embarrassing behavior. That's everyone else's problem for some reason. I have to work 6 hours a day. I mean, that looks pretty bad. This is a good point from Ludwig, I will say. So that's the video that Mizkif's so upset about. That video wasn't good enough, apparently. Now, do we have the DMs that Crazyslick was sending to women? Okay, where's the Crazyslick? There was like a Twitter thread with the clips. Here we are. All right, guys. So, who remembers the Crazyslick drama? It was huge, okay? It was absolutely massive. It was like the first big, like, OTKR story, really, I think, where essentially train wrecks and I think XQC were placed in sort of opposition to Hassan and the main sort of Twitch crowd, Hassan, Mizkif, the main sort of Twitch crowd. And they had been hearing stories behind the scenes coming from this girl, Adriana Lee, that at one point at a party at the OTK house, everyone was very drunk. Adriana Lee went into some spare room or something to lay down because she was very drunk. A couple of Adriana Lee's friends were in the room or nearby. Crazyslick allegedly went into the room while Adriana Lee was laid down and started touching her. Now, when Adriana Lee's friends were like, "Hey, stop doing that. You're being f***ing weird." He's like, "I'm just checking her pulse. I'm just checking her pulse on her chest." Allegedly is what happened. So that doesn't sound very likely of a story, obviously. It would seem more like he was groping her in some way. Or she was kind of passed out, pseudo passed out, or fully passed out, we're not sure. But they moved on from that incident. Not much was said initially. And I think stuff started coming out. She might have made a post or something alluding to it. And basically, there ended up being a situation where Mizkif was super worried that his best friend, Crazyslick, was going to get cancelled. And the story goes that he gathered Mitch Jones and Maya Higa, his Mizkif's at the time girlfriend, in a room and said, "Guys, we have to save Slick. We cannot let Crazyslick go down." So quickly, Mizkif grabs Maya and he says, "Maya, you need to stop her sharing her story." Well, maybe not like this, but the story goes that he basically said, "Maya, you need to stop her sharing her story. You need to bring this down. You need to save Slick." And Maya's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. How do I do this? And Mizkif goes, "You are Maya Higa. You are Maya Higa." And from that moment, she knows exactly what she must do. The programming is activated, and she terminates all the way down to Adriana Lee's house. Says, "Tell no one about your. Don't tell anyone you got. Yeah, you're a woman. She'll listen to you." Was roughly what he was saying to her. There was a whole bunch more to it. There were a bunch of calls got leaked where everyone was freaking out about it and trying to, you know, come out of the situation on top. However, over time, some of this stuff has gone to court. Adriana Lee, I believe, attempted, and Henry Resilient was in chat, he can correct me if I'm wrong. Adriana Lee, I believe, attempted to launch a defamation suit against OTK and Mizkif for blackballing her, essentially. For going around saying that she was lying about the R, or the groping, that she groped someone else called Sear, who we absolutely hate here. We hate Sear. She groped a guy called Sear, and these stories were used to essentially cut her off from connections, was the claim. Now, I believe this case has been thrown out. This is not going anywhere. This is dead in the water. She's not getting any money out of OTK for what happened. So Mizkif is now attempting, he wants to vindicate himself. Oh, the case is still active. Okay, well, Mizkif claims that a case has been thrown out. I don't know whether it's the same court case or not. Because Henry, do you have a OTK and Maya Higa was dismissed? Got you. So let's see this. This is Mizkif talking about it just the other night.
Do you think Ludwig comes back to Twitch after his contract ends? I can care less. By the way, Chad, I think I'm going to make a video soon about all the drama that happened 2 years ago and how all the bullshit happened and ruined my life. I'm ready for it. It's been too long. Fuck everybody. I mean, it's time to do it now, boys. I mean, I literally fucking went to court and won. So, I mean, what is everyone to say when they're like, "Oh, Mizkif fucking investigated himself"? Nope, I fucking won in court. For what you're...
So what's the truth? He's claiming he won in court. But his case has not been dismissed yet. Just the OTK and Maya Higa. Both the cases got dismissed, I thought. Henry's saying that one case is still active. Tell Mizkif to show proof. Well, I mean, I guess we'll have to wait. He's claiming he's making a video. Henry's saying the case is still active and that this is not true. That one of the cases has ended, the one against Maya Higa and OTK, but Mizkif is still in the case. He hasn't won in court except that she couldn't prove damages. Yeah, he also he makes stronger statements here that are obviously not supported by the idea of the case being thrown out as well. So we'll get into that in a moment. But I just want to see if I want to have ready the suicide stuff. Is it not on his channel? Oh wait, no, I've got something. I've got something real.
I'm gonna dig that shit up. Nope. I don't give a fuck. I need to say this. I'm tired.
His name is still on the case. Maya Higa and OTK are not. Okay. Got you.
Of it being just something that lingers in my life. I want a concrete video that shows I literally won in court. I want a concrete video that shows I literally got investigated and proven false. I want a concrete video that shows that literally it was all lies and everyone in the Twitch community realized that in 2 weeks, but no one else knew it because they were spreading lies and misinformation. All that needs to be said and done so I can finally move on from this. How I lost $300,000, how I tried to kill myself, how it ruined my life, how I can't sleep still because of it, how I've never been able to recover, how mentally exhausted I am, how I've lost so many viewers and fans over it over years.
Yeah, he was never... Yeah. He was investigated by the law firm that they hired to run an internal investigation, or, well, would you call it an internal investigation? I guess it's an independent investigation is the idea that said that he didn't cover it up. Now, there's obviously a lot of evidence. There's things like, so people will remember back when all this happened, during Chud's coverage, actually, Chud pointed out that Maya claimed, or Maya was claiming that this was never an assault, there was never an assault allegation. But then there were DMs where Maya referred to it as an assault. So there were like a lot of conflicting statements and things that seemed to go back and forward that did imply there was some kind of cover-up. Downplaying at least. Now, Mizkif's talking about his suicide here. We've actually got a Chud Logic video here.
From a complete fucking pussy, which I might show.
Mentally disabled journalist tries to cancel me over viral clip. Let's see what's going on here.
And in fact, I tell you what we're going to do, right? I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to dig into this a bit more. I sort of dismissed this yesterday because I was covering other stuff, okay? But hey, I'm streaming when I was supposed to be having a day off, okay? So fuck it. We're going to dig into it a bit more and see what Richard Lewis had to say about the affair, okay? We're going to see what Richard Lewis had to say about the affair. Because apparently this guy who was trying to fucking, you know, who was trying to leech one of my clips for a bit of content for his gay-ass Twitter account, you know, where he saw he's out about bullshit, apparently he's got some skeletons in his closet. So we're going to get into it, okay? So we're going to get into it.
Is he going to show the clip?
We're going to get into it.
You better show the clip.
Right? So, I don't actually mind him using my clip, but it was kind of annoying that he tried to, like, humegalol me. Why? Because he slighted me. Life yesterday. Tackle my life yesterday. So, at the start of my stream yesterday, I watched...
Has he changed his camera position to look taller? What's going on here?
Mizkif
he looks like he's sat in it like he's a little guy in this big chair here, but then his camera position now is like low angle.
Stream depression, and he also said that in October yesterday on a stream to garner sympathy from his core audience. Okay. And I was also cynical and my sleeping tablets. That seemed extremely far-fetched to me.
It does look a mess, doesn't it?
I've never heard of someone attempting to commit suicide by going to a dealer and buying sleeping tablets, right? To me, it just smelt like bullshit, okay?
Bro has not been shaving.
Now, I said this on stream. A couple of my clips ended up on LSF. They've since been deleted. Now, I know people might say it's because LSF are like pro-OTK, pro-Mizkif or whatever. I think it's just because there was quite a few clips of me floating about. So I think that because it's like, oh, I'm not as big a streamer, people were like thinking I was just trying to farm LSF and were deleting me for that reason. Okay,
where's the actual clip of him talking about Mizkif's? Does he not play it in this video at all?
When people come on, they're like, yeah, I tried to...
Oh, wait, here, yeah. This is him talking about Mizkif's suicide attempt, okay?
Well, first of all, let's listen to the clip, okay? Here we go. Let's listen to the clip, first of all.
Yeah, it's rough. I tried killing myself in October.
I gotta be honest, right? I gotta be honest. I've got very little sympathy for this. I just think it's cringe when people come on. They're like, "Yeah, I tried to kill myself in October." Did you notice how dishonest the framing is straight away from this fucking loser as well? So I'm clearly saying that I find it cringe that he's come on to stream to say it, but he's saying it as if I'm calling just suicide broadly cringe. And there's a couple of people that are in the comments that are saying like, wait, did Mizkif what? Because it's acting like I'm calling someone committing suicide cringe or something like that. But it's like, clearly the context I'm saying, coming on a stream and saying it is cringe. Like, come on. Also, how serious was it, really? Could you imagine if Mizkif actually killed himself and then people were talking about this clip? Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny because I did say that I said that. And I was joking about it, you know, obviously being a bit harsh if he did kill himself. But then later on, I think after this, he then goes on to explain. But then after this, he then goes on to explain the story of how it happened, that he went to a dealer and bought sleeping tablets.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, there it was. That's what we were looking for. So Mizkif, yeah, I'm remembering the story now. Mizkif claimed he went to his drug dealer to buy sleeping tablets to kill himself with.
So yeah, I gotta be honest with you. I don't really take your suicide attempt particularly seriously, you know, if that's your story, all right? I've got to be honest with you. I stand by this 100%. I 100% stand by everything I said here.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I got the story. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. There we go. We saw the funny clip. We got the story. Okay, let's go back to this bit.
It is finally time for me to talk about it after 2 years. It is finally time. I don't think I ever wanted to make that video in the past few years, but I know now I'm finally ready. And Ludwig for fucking literally making that video that was completely false and just removing it despite the fact that literally it was false, and then making another video and then putting it in the middle of it, thinking that that's okay to do when I tried to kill myself over his accusations, which were false. Fuck.
Like, this is just... I support it, okay? I have to support this because it's against Ludwig, and all actions against Ludwig are justified. However, this is very... In a normal situation, this is very embarrassing behavior. And under normal circumstances where you're not doing this to try and hurt Ludwig's career, this is very embarrassing behavior. Sitting there going, oh, you part of this video, it made me want to hurt myself, it made me want to kill myself. That is, dude, you did something that people feel should be criticized. Obviously, there's going to be videos going up that criticize your actions. There should, you know, Mizkif should be mad at Trainwrecks, not Ludwig. Well, it depends really, doesn't it? Because Train saying something might not matter that much, but because of Ludwig's position and reach, it could be more impactful, right? So I can understand why he would be mad at Ludwig over Trainwrecks, especially when Trainwrecks is sort of disconnected from a lot of the Twitch scene. Trainwrecks doesn't really have pull in the social circles that Mizkif is in. Ludwig is in that same Twitch social circle. So I can understand why he would be mad with Ludwig, why he would feel like Ludwig is the one who did things to hurt his career, hurt his life. But this is just very embarrassing. You did something criticizable, you're getting criticism for it. No one cares if you're getting upset about that. This is like not anyone else's concern.
Despite the fact that literally it was false, and then making another video and then putting it in the middle of it, thinking that that's okay to do when I tried to kill myself over his accusations, which were false. Fuck that. Didn't even tell the story. Hope you actually do it. I am. I'm legit going to do it. It will be happening. And I will mention that Ludwig tried to do it again for the second time. I did never deserve what happened to me. It ruined my life. It ruined my family's life. It ruined my everything. It ruined everything. I'm glad I fixed it over 2 years, but it took 2 fucking years to fix. And it should never have been fixed in the first place. And I still don't get sponsors for something I never did. Yeah, no, it's 2 years of my life that's been ruined. It's 2 years of my life that I had to work back. For what? For what? I shouldn't have to work back what I got. I literally didn't do anything wrong. Why'd I have to work for 2 years so hard when I didn't do anything wrong? I never did shit. And I want a video so when people say, didn't Mizkif cover up sexual assault? They go to a video and they say, this has been proven false by the...
Millionaires crying about sponsors, who cares? I'm in two minds about this. Because on one hand, even if you're a millionaire, if you get falsely accused of something and that causes you to lose a bunch of income, lose a bunch of sponsors, it is wrong for you to lose those things. that is an injustice that you lost those business opportunities for an incorrect reason. That's that it's fine to make this statement, this idea in a vacuum isn't. I don't necessarily have a crazy problem with it, but it's in the context of what's happened. Like, so much of this is self-inflicted. It's not totally incorrect. I can totally see. Here's one thing I could imagine. It may be the case that Adriana Lee's initial complaint wouldn't have been as severe, or maybe even is in part fabricated by her friends. She was passed out, right? That could be the case. We could imagine a world where that's true. But past that, we have verifiable actions that he and Maya took, things they said on live streams, that would incriminate them, would make them look bad. Because it's clear Adriana seems to believe the thing she's saying. So trying to affect her testimony is always going to look bad. Not just that, but Adriana wasn't the only person who came out about Crazyslick. Crazyslick had a pattern of exceedingly aggressive, grossly sexual messages being sent to basically every woman in streaming.
You wouldn't like me when I'm Adriana Ree.
Thank you for the $5. Yeah, this was a big thing at the time. Adriana is not the only one with sexual misconduct allegations or some kind of like sexual impropriety allegations against Crazyslick. Because Crazyslick has many DMs where he's like, yo, you wanna fuck? Yo, I just grab your fucking hair and bend you over. There was some with Fan, I think, where he just like straight comes and he's like, yo, I grab your hair and fucking bend you over. And she's like, are you good, bro? Does this usually work?
Didn't do anything wrong. I never did shit. And I want a video so when people say, didn't Mizkif cover up sexual assault? They go to a video and they say, this has been proven false by the court system because it literally got thrown out. What a stupid fucking experience. I have to think about it every day, all day in my life. Every time I go to the bathroom, I shower. Every time I do anything, I think about it. My life is surrounded by this trauma, and it fucking sucks. Ludwig should make an apology video. Oh, he absolutely should. He absolutely should for what he did to me. He absolutely should. He literally made me want to kill myself. He was one of the top factors on why I wanted to die. Isn't that insane to think?
So again, usually it would be pathetic. However, anything justified against Ludwig, it's against Ludwig, it's fine.
Literally tried to kill myself over what he said.
Weaponize your suicide against Ludwig.
Yeah, someone that I thought was a friendly person in my life. You collabed with him after still? Yeah, because you want to know why? I desperately had to cling on to everybody and everything those first 6 months because I had literally nothing. And I didn't even collab with him. What collaboration did I do? Went to his events. Yeah, I mean, but it made me look good. I had to do anything I can to make myself look good over these past few years. I literally had to. I had to make sure that people realize in the spotlight, in the world, that I'm okay. What he did was messed up, but he basically made a video admitting that he was completely wrong. Dude, it was literally 20 seconds in the middle of a video. I don't think you understand something, okay? Me and Ludwig shared a lot of our viewers. A lot. A lot. On YouTube and on Twitter and on Twitch. Everywhere. Ludwig doing that did nothing. Ludwig doing any of that did nothing. It ruined my life. That's all it did. That first video ruined my life. And to someone that I thought I was close to, at least in the space. And for what? You put out a second video, you slab Rich in the front of it, Schlatt in the back, me in the middle, and said that it's partially false. Like, dude, what? The video ruined my life. And then the shit on me on the yard with his fucking buddies. Yeah, it sucked. Saying I'm glad he's gone because I called him a Ludwig. Are you fucking serious? Are you a 5-year-old? Are you really gonna cry over that? Suicide's no joke. It's no fucking joke. Suicide is, it's insane. I literally... Fuck
suicide. Yo, fuck suicide. Mizkif, we don't want you to die. Mizkif, give life a try.
Didn't even feel like I was a human those months.
We needed it. Where is it? We're all worried, Mizkif. We're all very worried. Wait, I don't want to know what that Twitter thread. There we go.
Straight up felt like there was something behind me that was guiding me to kill myself. And I was thinking, I never even thought of it as death. I thought of it as falling asleep. I was like, I just want to fall asleep for a long time. It's wild. And I've never been the same.
Okay, there we go. And then there's, it seems like there's another clip here.
And then you got to remember, like, December, I was depressed and suicidal. January, I was depressed and suicidal. February, I'm depressed and suicidal. I come back in January. I get a ton of hate because I, by accident, opened up a video that said sexual harassment on it when it was about gay guys smacking their ass. So I got a ton of hate there when I accidentally opened up a video. Remember? I literally accidentally opened up a video. And then everyone hated me because I opened up that video. And then everyone's like, Miz is a piece of shit. This guy won't learn. It's like, dude, I didn't mean that. It was so unfortunate. Or like the win me back thing, and I got like a 20,000 upvoted hate thread. It's like, dude, I was so wanting to die. It was insane. And yeah, I was freaking out. I was almost having a panic attack on stream when I went live for the first time. It was insane. And then remember in March, I don't know if you guys remember this, my accountant calls me and says, yeah, by the way, your old accountant made a mess app, and you owe $700,000 in bills. Like, I literally found out that I owed $700,000 to the IRS. And while all this is happening, while I'm wanting to die,
and he's not paying his taxes. He's like, I fucked up my taxes and I owe a bunch of money, and that's everyone else's problem for some reason.
Yeah, by the way, your old accountant made a mess app, and you owe $700,000 in bills. Like, I literally found out that I owed $700,000 to the IRS. And while all this is happening, while I'm wanting to die, the internet's attacking me. My entire career that I built up is falling and crumbling. I owe $700,000 to the IRS. I still have to put a smile on my face, and I still have to entertain for 6 hours a day. Like, it was fucking hard. And that I did give myself a lot of props for. It was really fucking hard.
I have to work 6 hours a day. My life is all fucked up, and I still have to work for 6 hours a day. God, it's so fucked up. Bro, please work a service job. Work any service job.
It didn't help. Emmy helped a lot, dude. Emmy helped out so much. Behind the scenes, Emmy helped out so much. Emmy helped out also on stream like crazy. She was always willing to go on my streams. Her and Extra Emily like saved that year for me.
It's like there are so many good arguments about streaming, okay? There are so many good arguments you can make about streaming being difficult.
Pull up the clip.
Okay. It's an exceedingly competitive field that has a very low entry requirement, meaning that at every moment there are people that could be better at this than you, could be smarter than you, could have better connections than you, could have a better setup than you, that can come in and try to chip out of your market share at any point. There's lots of good. Obviously everyone wants to do it. It's very lucrative and easy. Frankly, if you're actually, like, you know, established in it. So many people want to do it. Lots of good arguments you can make about streaming being difficult and competitive. The idea that I have to work 6 hours a day when I'm feeling bad, the idea that that is your argument about streaming is delusional. Welcome to life, man. Welcome to life. Yeah. Every service worker ever has had to go into work when they're having a bad mental health day and deal with customers treating them like shit. Yeah, no shit, retard.
They literally...
It's usually not for 6 hours either.
And Senna. Yeah, and then I forgot Bruce. Like, how crazy was that? It's like, dude, I literally get canceled. I get attacked. Then Bruce attacks me. Then I find out I lost $700,000 from the IRS. It's like, dude, what was my life in 2023? It was just a fucking massacre. And then people fucking crucified me for logs from 7 years ago. It's so crazy, like... Nowadays, people don't care about those logs. Like 2 years passed because it's Trump's world and the pendulum swung back. But 2 years ago, it was like, oh, Miz is literally a racist. It's so ridiculous what 2022 was like compared to 2024. It's so crazy. The Minecraft era is over. Yeah, it's so over. No one cares anymore. I got canceled right at the end of cancel culture. Like the last few months of it being around, I got canceled. Yeah, I was at buzzer beater. 1 second on the clock of cancel culture and I got canceled. Did you really have to borrow 300K from Emmy? No, that was 100% true. I really borrowed 300K from Emmy. I really did. And then I spent $300,000 on lawyers. And then $700,000 on taxes. You know? It was a pretty bad year. And then all my friends just did not want to talk to me. It was pretty crazy.
Wow. Sorry, I'm shaking a sausage roll, guys. Got another clip here.
I told them, I'm like, look, you didn't rape anybody. You know, it's one thing... I feel like... the narrative about him being creepy. Yeah. That sucks. I told him, I'm like, look, you didn't rape anybody, you know?
It's not from Greg's. However, in some shops they do frozen Greg's products that you can cook at home. I do actually have some. These are Greg's sausage rolls, as a matter of fact. However, they're just not from Greg's.
It's one thing. I feel like, I mean, like, he didn't do anything. He didn't. And, like, people make it seem like he did. Like, when people, like, think of it, they think that he stuck his fucking dick inside her without her consent. And I'm like, that's what people perceive it as. The narrative
on that back?
Creepy. Yeah, that sucks. I told him, I'm like, look, you didn't rape anybody, you know? It's one thing. I feel like, I mean, like, he didn't do anything.
I'm actually having 2 sausage rolls as well, because I'm quite fat.
He didn't. And, like, people make it seem like he did. Like, when people, like, think of it, they think that he stuck his fucking dick inside her without her consent. And I'm like, that's what people perceive it as.
He does seem to be admitting that he groped her.
People probably don't even know the situation. No, it's not. It's not 90% of people. Look, I don't think there's a single person that we used to hang out with that doesn't hang out with Slick anymore because of what happened. I actually think there's literally none. Because the reality is, worst comes to worst of it, it's fucking, like, sexual harassment, right? I mean, like, no one, of what you can deem of it, it's sexual harassment, whatever. At a low scale, it's not really a big deal. I don't think people really gave a shit and really cared. Chat, I'm gonna turn this off if you're gonna be like this. I'll just turn it off.
Yeah, groping is obviously assault. If you're actually physically groping, that would be a sexual assault. I mean, that looks pretty bad.
Happy New Year.
Now let's have a look at this Ludwig video.
Happy New Year. New Year means new goals, and maybe one of your goals this year is to burn as much money as possible. And I've made any videos about OTK because, well, none of the individual pieces felt substantial enough to talk about for longer than a couple of minutes, but enough has happened over the past year, and especially with the update last night that ended the investigation on Mizkif, that I feel like we can talk about it all today. Now, we're going to get to the investigation with Mizkif at the end, but first, let's do things in order with what started off their terrible month of December, and it involves another one of their founders, Rich Campbell. Now,
Whenever I watch a Ludwig video, this is how I feel.
Campbell, if you don't know, is a esports host turned streamer who did a lot of maybe the more business side of things behind OTK. And one of the people that he used to be in a relationship with, Lexi, on Twitter, dropped a tweet longer about a terrible experience she had with Rich. And I really recommend you read this on your own because I think it states how she feels about it more clearly and everything that happened more clearly. But I'm going to read you 2 excerpts. I'm not here to sleep with you, and I do not want that. That is Lexi to Rich Campbell when they were hanging out at Rich's place. And then Rich replied, by jerking off in front of her while continuing to talk about her getting pregnant and then begging her to have sex with him. After she said no, he continually attempted to take her clothes off. She kept saying no, and at the very end, he rolled her over and put himself inside of her and finished unprotected. That was hard to read, but it is a clear picture of sexual assault, rape.
Is Rich Campbell going to win?
Now,
is he
Rich
going to clear
hasn't
himself?
Replied to this yet, but
dude, I liked Rich. It's a shame if he's a rapist. That's a shame. I mean, I'll watch a rapist, but he would have to admit that he's a rapist. He would have to own it.
There were a lot of
Henry thinks Rich will be victorious. That is a Henry resilient prediction here. Okay, coming in hot. There is still hope.
Text messages that backed up them being together at that exact moment, him asking her to come over, etc. And it ended off with a text from him to her right after it ended with the same timeline saying, "You okay?" So I believe the account.
What's my read on Tectone shit? Rapist. Rapist is my read on the Tectone shit. I am leaning very heavily towards the victim on that. When you've already had that fucking super weird situation with that previous ex, and then she covers for you in that. She covers for you in that. And then reneges on that and says you're abusive and that everything that ex was saying about you is right. And then all of your responses to this are fucking terrible, but you're asserting heavily that you're absolutely in the right and it's all made up. Especially when he's saying it's all completely fabricated. He's not saying you know, we had a rough relationship, and, you know, we both did fucked up things here and there. Some parts are true, but the extremities of it are false. I don't ever believe you when an ex comes out and says, fuck shit happened in this relationship, and you say, none of that is true. None of that is factual. That's, like, super fucking weird. Because there's no reason why the relationship would be totally fine, totally chill the whole time, and then she calls you abusive. No, something happened, okay? There was some issue between you two, and very rarely are these things one-sided, especially when they come out accusing you of abuse after.
You can wait for Rich Campbell's statement, which hasn't come out yet, but it's pretty clear that OTK also believes the statement, or at least is concerned enough about it that they instantly, and I mean instantly, dropped him within like hours.
Yeah, also Tectone's not suing. Exactly, Henry, right? It's like he talks a big game, but if you talk a big game and don't follow through, that is incredibly suspicious, to say the least.
Of the statement coming out, he was booted from OTK, which is big. I mean, he's one of the founders of it, and they kicked him out. So that was a terrible thing to happen. But the next week, the troubles didn't end for OTK as a whole, because they lost a huge part of their organization, Jay Schlatt. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell you the value that Jay Schlatt has on the YouTube algorithm. He's one of my most viewed videos on
I can't stand Jay Schlatt, man. I used to give it, like, you know, he's funny sometimes. I've seen him be funny here and there. But the amount of cocksucking for him just makes me hate it. He's like, not that good in any way.
Every single one of my channels, and he's part of the reason why Mogul Mail even exists today, because the weekly slap is what inspired me originally. And he mutually agreed to leave OTK. Now, it might not seem like a big hit because, you know, he's not much of a streamer. He doesn't stream too often, so many people didn't even know he was in OTK. But if you look at OTK's YouTube channel that has almost 600,000 subscribers, that was built by Jay Schlatt. Let's just take a look at the top 10 most viewed videos. 9 of them are involving Jay Schlatt. He's like 13 of the top 15. He is OTK YouTube. And I think that's a big thing to lose. And then the week after that, which was actually just last night, we finally got the end to the investigation on Mizkif over the alleged sexual assault cover-up involving his best friend at the time, Crazyslick. And now, if you don't know, this was basically a third-party law firm that OTK hired to investigate Mizkif, to which a lot of people, I think, understandably were upset about. They're like, okay, well, aren't you just investigating yourself? But who is supposed to do the investigation? If there were no charges filed by the police and they aren't doing an
This is a good point from Ludwig, I will say. Because people always act as though, you know, oh, they investigated themselves. You know, they just hired a fucking people to say they were fine. But like, yeah, if there's not a police investigation, like what I guess Adriana Lee could pick the law firm and pay for it if she wanted to. And ask them if they can come in and do it. Maybe. Is she going to do that? No. So they're going to do the investigation. How are they going to do? Are they going to hire a law firm to look into it? I'm pretty sure there is like some level of like mandatory reporting if they come across crimes, I would imagine. I'm not 100% on that, but I think I've heard that said before. That they can't just like, a law firm like that can't just cover up crimes. And it would be pretty bad for their reputation too if they did that, I feel like. But, you know.
Investigation. It's not like someone's going to magically get up and do it. You kind of have to hire
one thing for his evidence of his innocence, which was then instantly disproved by Denims of all people. Ema, he's obviously a graper.
Thank you for the 4.99 yen. Thank you.
Someone to try to absolve yourself. But even if we just ignore the entirety in the investigation, I think it's pretty safe to say that a lot of the allegations made in the original tweet by Trainwreck were outright false. I covered this in a video I made yesterday called I Lied, but if we just go over it one more time again, there was no blackmail. Not an iota of blackmail was seen. When Train said, are you going to send Maya and Mitch to cover up sexual assault? Maya said on a stream that she would have gone on her own volition. And then as far as the one thing that did age really poorly and that was pretty bad of Mizkif, aka this clip, well, let's just play my reaction here.
Single person that we used to hang out with that doesn't hang out with Slick anymore because of what happened. I actually think there's literally none. Because the reality is, worst comes to worst of it, it's fucking like sexual harassment, right? I mean, like, who, like...
Dude, the 3 levels of Ludwig, what?
No one, of what you can deem of it, it's sexual harassment, whatever.
Now, this was a clip from Miz that was on his alt stream that didn't sound so nice in the moment, and this is what I said about it.
At a low scale, it's not really a big deal. I don't think people really gave a shit.
Iron Fist is broken against retarded people. If a team groups and like plays together in any way, he becomes essentially useless. He's like really good at hit and run. If you can combo someone down and get the fuck out or get onto the next person, he's good. But if you end up getting into like a fight, like a 2v1 or anything, you're kind of raped. This is Marvel Rivals, yeah. He's really good against Iron Man. He's really good against Iron Man. You can just shift up into the air and then do the lunges, and you just follow Iron Man around in the fucking sky, just smacking him in the fucking head.
Shit.
This is Miz speaking way too candidly and way too stupidly about sexual assault, saying it's low scale, like there's a tier list that we have to drop every year on what sexual assault we need to rank S tier, what sexual assault we need to rank F tier. And I lambasted him a bit for that comment because it was pertaining to sexual assault, which is like a big deal. But I was wrong. He wasn't talking about sexual assault at the time. It was only known that Crazyslick, his roommate at the time, sexually harassed Adriana. That's based off her words. Listen to this.
I've only recently figured out and found out, especially without sitting, that it's sexual assault.
So I feel like that covers it. I'm just playing that clip again because it is totally coincidental that I have.
Marvel Rivals at launch, or Overwatch 1 at launch in terms of fun. Probably Overwatch 1 because it was novel and new back then, but Marvel Rivals is really good. It needs some balancing. It probably needs role queue and ranked, but it's really good. Very, very strong baseline.
Happened to upload that video yesterday or 2 days ago, and then they did this announcement yesterday. Obviously, I've no clue that this was coming. Otherwise, it would have been great to just wait a day, and that would have covered it. But yes, rehashing a lot of the original claims of Mizkif.
It should just be 2-2-2. It should just be 2-2-2. 2 tank, 2 DPS, 2 healer. Ranked role. Balancing thoughts. Spider-Man seems weak. He's really difficult, but he just seems weak anyway. What else? Any rapes? I've been playing Venom mostly. I'm a Venom main. Yeah, Wolverine needs buffing, 100%. Moon Knight seems pretty good so far from what I've seen. I tried him out. I wasn't very good with him, but I've seen people melt with him. I only played like 10 minutes of him. He has to work really hard to get a kill. Yeah, there's a few carries like that. Spider-Man and Wolverine are both like that. Psylocke seems cracked. Psylocke's just Genji. She's not really cracked, I don't think. Squirrel Girl does not need nerfing though. I think Squirrel Girl's fine. Squirrel Girl's not good against a lot of teams. If you've got flying characters or anything with range, Squirrel Girl kind of sucks. Who's sweeping for OTK? Raw, try and engage with the fucking topic. Hey, retard. Hey, retard. You didn't make a point there. I don't know why you're why you're suing for OTK. Mizkif is being dramatic and trying everything he can to get his career back by blaming Ludwig. Okay? How am I sweeping for OTK? I've said it's pathetic. I said it's based that he's trying to kill Ludwig. On the internet. Not literally, obviously. It's a metaphorical death that exists only online in terms of career. This Raw person is consistently stupid, though. This is like one of the lowest IQ people. They always come into chat with the dumbest takes.
If covering up sexual assault don't seem to be true. What is true, and what OTK did punish him for, were his actions on his comeback stream October 11th, which demonstrated a lack of empathy and ignorance towards the seriousness of the situation. Now, I never made a video about this. I never really talked about this, so a lot of you might not know. But after the initial apology that Mizkif made on Twitter, he kind of went radio silent for a while. He didn't stream for a long time, and then he suddenly was like, I'm going to come back and I'm going to stream. Fine. That's up to him. You know, the investigation wasn't over. It was going a while. He missed streaming. But his comeback stream was, to put it lightly, embarrassing. It started with an hour of him basically stalling because Hassan and XQC were both reacting to him to try to see what he was going to say about the investigation or what he was going to say about the entire situation.
Most OP character in Rivals. It might be Scarlet Witch. If a good Scarlet Witch can just rape. Dr. Doom's not in yet. Star-Lord can be really good, yeah. Cloak and Dagger's pretty good, yeah. Most of the supports are really good. Is there a support that sucks? Adam Warlock, kinda. But then he's got res. If you use him well, he could probably be really good. Yeah, obviously Jeff is fucking crazy. Mantis is good, yeah.
And Mizkif, in response to this, played Super Mario 64. And said, I'm going to keep playing until you guys stop watching me. And they didn't. So then he eventually ponied up, and then he said, I have no news. Which by itself would just be like, you know, kind of embarrassing. But then he also had this moment, which was really just dumb.
No matter what, dude, one of my things...
Now, this is a tattoo artist who talks about how good he is at cover-ups, specifically with bad tattoos.
I am a master at cover-ups and reconstruction.
Me too, for 4 years.
Excuse me?
I think this will not look good like this. Like, let's...
That's tough. He also...
Wait, 1 minute. Let's run this back. Let's run. I got distracted. We need to run it back.
I was wrong.
Guys, stop talking about Marvel Rivals, okay? Stop talking about Marvel Rivals.
Of what you can deem a bit, it's...
About sexual, we need to rank you F tier. And I lambasted him a bit for that comment because it was, you know, pertaining to sexual assault, which is like a big deal. But I was wrong. He wasn't talking about sexual assault at the time. It was only known that Crazyslick, his roommate at the time, sexually harassed Adriana. That's based off her
rank. I only played a few matches last night. I think I'm at like bronze. I'm either top of bronze 2 or bottom of bronze 1. I'll probably get silver tonight. But I noticed that if you get into bronze 2, oh, I'm getting distracted again. Yeah, if you get into bronze 2, you're in the top 50% of players. So obviously, no one has really climbed on ranked yet.
Words. Listen to this.
I've only recently figured out and found out, especially with all the sitting, that it's sexual assault.
So I feel like that covers it. I'm just playing that clip again because it is totally coincidental that I happened to upload that video yesterday or 2 days ago, and then they did this announcement yesterday. Obviously, I've no clue that this was coming. Otherwise, it would have been great to just wait a day, and that would have covered it. But yes, rehashing a lot of the original claims of Mizkif covering up sexual assault don't seem to be true. What is true and what OTK did punish him for were his actions on his comeback stream October 11th, which demonstrated a lack of empathy.
Wait, so what did she say
it's
here?
Sexual assault. Figured out and found out.
Soft like his listen to this.
I've only recently figured out and found out, especially with all the sitting, that it's sexual assault.
So I feel like that covers it. I'm just this sexual assault for were his actions on his comeback stream October 11th, which demonstrated a lack of empathy and ignorance towards the seriousness of the situation. Now, I never made a video about this. I never really talked about this, so a lot of you might not know. But after the initial apology that Mizkif made on Twitter, he kind of went radio silent for a while. He didn't stream for a long time, and then he suddenly was like, "I'm gonna come back and I'm going to stream." Fine, that's up to him. You know, the investigation wasn't over. It was going a while. He missed streaming, but his comeback stream was, to put it lightly, embarrassing. It started with an hour of him basically stalling because Hassan and XQC were both reacting to him to try to see what he was going to say about the investigation or what he was going to say about the entire situation. And Mizkif, in response to this, played Super Mario 64 and said, "I'm going to keep playing until you guys stop watching me." And they didn't. So then he eventually ponied up, and then he said, "I have no news." Which by itself would just be like, you know, kind of embarrassing. But then he also had this moment, which was really just dumb.
No matter what, dude, one of my things...
Now, this is a tattoo artist who talks about how good he is at cover-ups, specifically with bad tattoos.
I am a master at cover-ups and reconstruction.
Me too, for 4 years.
Excuse me?
I think this will not look good like this. Like, let's...
That's funny.
That's tough. He also...
Wait, but that's funny. That's funny.
Up this video of sexual harassment is illegal. It was just kind of tone deaf. I don't think he had a plan going into this stream, and although it doesn't seem like anything involving a sexual assault cover-up was true, it is true that he made an inappropriate joke about sexual harassment and that he had some unsavory clips and like random calls and generally I just don't think handled it as well as he could have or should have. And I think it's pretty clear that my boy Stans had the better path of what you should do in that position.
And you just go, "Hey chat, I've been gone for 3 weeks thinking about everything that's happened. There's an investigation going on, so I can't say anything about it. I hope to give you guys the truth, but in the meantime, I am out of OTK on whatever. I'm going to be streaming like normal so I can make money to pay my rent for the next after this, but today I'm going to leave. I hope I can share more information with you soon." And then you turn off stream. That's it. Literally, that's it.
super mature. Stan's a smart guy. He's someone who I go to for a lot of the things that I need to do. In response, again, to Miz acting inappropriately during this stream and in the wake of all the drama, OTK has decided to remove his board duties effective immediately and place him on monitored probation. Which is basically just them saying, hey, we're going to punish him because we acknowledge that it was bad, but we're not going to kick him off. And I think, honestly, if Mizkif wasn't such an important piece of OTK for the first year and a half of its creation, I mean, every big stream was on his channel. He was really carrying the org on the live stream front. He probably would have been kicked off. Straight up. If he wasn't that valuable, they probably would have booted him for just how he handled it, because if there's a clear goal with OTK here, and it is to remove the bad connotations for the bad things that have happened with some of the org's founders from the org's like idea in public conscious, but basically trying to clean up their image, right, to put it simply.
Wow, thanks, Ludwig.
But I'm going to make a prediction right here, because although it's been a hell of a year and an even worse month, I think OTK has a bright future. And it's not because of Mizkif. It's not because the other streamers on it, but it's because the people running it. Now, I know Tips. I know he's a good dude, and he's someone who came in clutch for me when I was running my Smash event and my chess boxing event by helping out, by sponsoring with Starforge. And I know he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's a smart guy, and I think he'll take the org good places. And he's joined by Zach Diaz, another guy who I know is a super good dude who worked at TikTok and Twitch. So barring any other drama and barring these two guys leaving the org, I think OTK will probably stick around, although they will always have a bit of a stained reputation with some, and that's just a battle that time will defeat. And that's about it. I think that covers pretty much everything. Let me know your thoughts, and thanks for watching. All right, subscribe. All right, see you later. Goodbye.
Wow. So that's the video that Mizkif's so upset about. That video wasn't good enough, apparently. Now, do we have the DMs that Crazyslick was sending to women, just to cap us off here?
Panic attack because it stressed me out seeing you guys with her. Dude, what weird that this dude...
Well, we've got the messages from Discord where he's still like coming back. Crazyslick is making a return, so it seems. Probably going to stream this month, actually. Yeah, need to say my side finally. Been too long. Maybe it will help my mental health if I say something. I still have nightmares about it, and I'll wake up in a pool of sweat. Not fun. If that's what you have to do to take yourself free, then do it. I'll be there. Oh, I appreciate you. I'm ready. How long ago since that happened? Over 2 years. You have the capacity to go live currently? Is it set up? Lol. Oh yeah, Lamau, I need to set up OBS again. Camera/mic setup though. Stop jelking it and set that hoe up. Define jelk. When you stroking it on 75% hard for long periods of time, nerd emoji. Question mark, question mark. MF what? How you know? I used to be into self-improvement in college. Makes your meat bigger, I think. Interesting. Quit stalling and go live. There'll be no haters. True, 0 haters gonna attend. Crazyslick. Back on the team. Wait, they hate Ludwig? Wait, they hate Ludwig? Welcome back, Crazyslick. Welcome back.